The following video was captured in a liquor store at New York City's Grand Central. We can see a group of men in the store, some doing their jobs and others making purchases, but none of them were safe from what was about to happen. Take a look. The man in the middle had an e-cigarette, also known as a vape, in his pocket, and all of a sudden, it exploded. Everyone was quick to react and ran out of the store, but the man holding the vape was left trying to detach it from his pants. Eventually, he manages to break it free and launch it in the other direction before standing there and assessing the damage. Luckily, the vape's explosion shot away from the man, but he still ended up hospitalized with third-degree burns. The following video was recorded on Banana Island in Nigeria during April of 2023. We can see a camera recording the city zooming into a building as if they know something horrific is about to happen. If you look closely, you can see that people are walking across the rooftops of this building. They have no idea they're actually walking to their death. Take a look.
Jesus! Oh my God! Oh my God! Jesus, man! Jesus Christ!
The building on the right completely collapses while the people are still on its roof. It was 7 stories high, so the fall must not have been pleasant for the poor humans atop. It later came out that the site was still under construction, and the people operating inside it were the workers doing their job. None of them fell to the bottom, but the National Emergency Management Agency indicated that they were trapped. With this information, a response team was sent to the location and everyone was recovered. There were a few injuries, but nothing too crazy. The upcoming clip was recorded in a factory on November 27th, 2019, and shows a factory worker putting scrap metal into a furnace. He is doing this to melt the metal back to a liquid state so that people can reuse it in the future. There must have been something wrong with the metal though, because what happens next is shocking. Have a look. As the worker drops the scrap into the furnace, it triggers an explosion to occur. This explosion shoots at the vehicle the worker is driving and spills molten lava all over the floor. Luckily, the vehicle was well built, so the operating worker was unharmed by the explosion, but it was a close one. The explosion was caused because the scrap metal was wet when it shouldn't have been. This video was captured on a construction site and surfaced on the internet about 3 years ago. We can see a group of workers building a huge metal structure, and many have mounted the project. These workers must not have done their job correctly though, and this was nearly the death of them. Have a look. All of a sudden, the workers start to slide down the structure in panic, so we are led to believe that something is wrong. After a few seconds with this thought, however, the project collapses completely, and if the workers were still on it, they could have suffered major injuries. Luckily, they weren't though, and the only damage done by this event was a waste of time and funding. Many people in our society have a fear of roads. This is usually because of the threat of a car slamming into them, but the following clip shows a much worse instance. It was recorded in Jerusalem on June 27, 2021, and is security footage keeping eyes on a parking lot. Not even the wisest could predict what was about to happen. Have a watch for yourself. Out of nowhere, the parking lot collapses in on itself and slowly forms a crater into the earth. This crater eats up 3 of the surrounding cars and leaves the locals around the area the most confused they've ever been. I'm surprised they just stood there and spectated the situation despite witnessing a gateway to hell opening up just a few feet away from them. The upcoming footage was recorded with CCTV in downtown Johannesburg on July 18, 2023. It shows us a very busy street full of parked vehicles and walking pedestrians until the unexpected interrupts them. Have a look. The ground has a somewhat explosion, and all of the cars are launched into the air off the road. Smoke is rising from the floor, and the people around are left sprinting away from the scene. Locals theorized that the explosion was caused by a gas leak, and the council warned that a second explosion may have followed up, which we don't know if that actually happened. More than 20 cars were flipped by this, but the information we really want to know is the casualties. Unfortunately, 1 person was found dead, and 40 were reported injured.